as you talk sports today, we're talking boxing with Frank Warren. Frank, obviously, Magnificent Seven. We've had quite a few in the past year. What is it about this kind of concept of card with seven, big fights that the fans just love so much?
That's what the concept is. The fans love it so much, so we sell tickets, and it gets great viewing figures. I think the first one I did was about 13, 14 years ago, and it's worked, and it's been brilliant. We've revived it, and I think it's been really well received, and this is a cracker of a card. Every fight on here is a competitive fight. It's a good fight, and meaningful for the fighters, or certainly will be for the winners, because they'll put themselves in contention in 2025 for some major fights and paydays.
Definitely, Frank, excellent main event. I mean, Brad Paul's, Denzel Bentley, two guys that you've backed. Brad more recently, but a huge fight with world title implications, like you said.
Yeah, we've given them. It'll be also for. We hope we should get it rubber stamped for the vacant European, and then I've added the spice to it by saying the winner will get a world title fight next year, which I will deliver.
And this is two heavyweight fights on this card, obviously the big one at the end of December as well. Is the heavyweight boxing division the best division in boxing, or certainly the best one for Queensberry at the moment?
It's one of them. It's certainly we're very strong in that department, as we are with in other areas, other weight divisions. But it's a sexy division, there's no doubt about it, and there's two brilliant heavyweight fights on there.
Frank, as well, Sam Noakes on the card. I mean, I'm just talking to him there. From December to December, that's 5 fights. I mean, surely he's a shoo-in for Fighter of the Year this year.
Well, he's well up there, isn't he? I mean, but you look at a lot of our guys on the roster, what they've done this year. They've been exciting fights and meaningful fights, and won them. But, Sam is very important to us. We love him dearly, and he's my son manages him, done a great job. Alan's a big friend of mine who trains him, Alan Smith. It's for us, it's a pleasure, and we'll do all we can to keep him moving. But again, he's in a tough fight. A very experienced fighter who fancies the job, and it'll be interesting. But Sam's got a record with, I think, 93% of his fights he's won by KO, and he's in with a guy who's never been stopped.
So Frank, obviously the big news this week coming out of Queensberry, big deal with DAZN. Obviously, you've been with a lot of different broadcasters throughout your career. I was wondering, throughout your long career as a promoter, who are your top 3 fighters that you've promoted? It's going to be a tough one, but
it's a very tough one. You know what? I got asked something like that the other day. I find it very difficult. I look at TYSON, look what he's done and where he's come from, the problems he's had. I can look at Naz, Joe Calzaghe, Frank Bruno, fighting for the world title 3 times and not doing it, and then came with me and won it in his 4th one. It's just so many. Ricky Hatton, Steve Collins, Nigel Bett. It goes on and on and on. It's a very, very difficult question to answer, so I'm not going to answer it.
And next weekend, Frank, there's a certain fight that some boxing fans will like, some won't. But on the undercard of that, Amanda Serrano, Katie Taylor. Is that a fight that yourself and Chantal are going to be keeping an eye on?
Absolutely.
Or the main event as well?
Absolutely. It's a great fight, and hopefully we can make the main event. She boxed brilliantly last week. I didn't get a chance to talk to her after the fight, but she really did extremely well.
Have you got a thought on Mike Tyson getting back in the ring as well at all?
I don't like the idea of 58-year-old men fighting, but I like Jake Paul and Nikita, who works with him. They're two really good guys. They've done brilliantly. They're good promoters. And if somebody wants to fight and they're getting licensed, I don't agree with it. I don't agree with a 58-year-old guy, but obviously they do, and they've licensed him, and it's properly supervised. Who knows? It's it's the mad. Sometimes I call it the mad world we live in. But look, it's going to do big business. There's no doubt about that, and a lot of people will watch it, including me. I'll do the same thing because it's like a car crash, isn't it? Slow down and you look at it, and that's what happens.
Frank, Gunman Boxing. Christmas has come early. The Gunman. You like the name, don't you? You like the name?
Yeah, I like that. Gunman. Yeah.
Gunman Boxing, the baddest channel in the UK. Christmas has come early. What a card you have delivered to fight fans. It is absolutely sexy. Is there a fight that you're keen to see unfold? Is there one? If you had to pick one out, which one is the one that is going to be the firecracker?
It's very difficult because they're all firecrackers. Spoke to all the guys. Everyone's up for it. There's so much at stake for all of them. They're at different levels of their careers. Some are just on the verge of world titles. Other guys just having their first big fights. But for all of them, they're all important fights. One thing for sure, you said it's going to be a Christmas cracker. Christmas has come early for boxing fans.
And Bonfire Night has come late, my friend. It's going to be
You're
explosive.
on
It's going to
fire,
be fireworks.
The old gunman's on fire.
Absolutely, no safety catch. Thank you, Frank.
Frank, excellent signings. I feel like you're getting a new signing every single day. But I want to talk about the prospects coming through. The amateurs just turning over. Obviously, George Crotty signing yesterday. I mean, huge for these guys' careers moving forward.
Huge for us, because that's what we're about. We're about development. We're about guys coming in at grassroots level. I enjoy that part of the business. I enjoy the journey that we get on with them, and I enjoy the fact that when they come in, how all of them know that if they give everything they've got there 100%, they'll get the same back from us. But you can see the need and the desire when they come into the office, and most of them who give that get it back. But it's no easy thing. It's in the toughest sport you can be in, and if you don't, by the way, give it all you got. If you don't show your commitment, it won't work out. And that's happened a couple of times with guys who I really thought were going to go all the way.
Is it more rewarding as a promoter taking that fighter from day dot all the way to world titles?
Without a doubt. Without a doubt.
Cheers, Frank.
Frank, obviously Lawrence Okolie, one of the signings. Heavyweight division very stacked. Who are some of the names that you fancy throwing in with Lawrence Okolie in the next year and a half?
He's got a tough fight to come through first. This guy, as you heard him, he's not come over to make up the numbers. He fancies the job, and he seems to think he's going to knock him over by the sounds of it. He's got a good record. We will see. If he comes through that fight, then for me, he could fight anybody who's in that top 10. It's going to be interesting to see, can he do what David Haye did? Can he do what Usyk did? Being a former world champion, come up and do it at heavyweight. It's going to be interesting. I didn't realise how big he is. The first time I've really spoken, he's a big guy. I don't know how he made cruiserweight.
And obviously, everyone talks about how stacked the heavyweight division, your heavyweight roster is. Is that something that you look for? Are you just always trying to find the best heavyweight, or has it just been a coincidence that it's just happened like this?
Something we invested in. We invested in Daniel Dubois as sponsored him as a young man. Done the same with Moses. TYSON came with us on his comeback. I did promote him a couple of times before that. On his comeback, he came with us. A lot of these guys, David Adelaide's came with us. All of them started out their journey. For example, Lawrence Okolie's come as a heavyweight with us. And they do it because they know we're good at what we do. We give them the opportunity, and it's such a lively division now. And certainly as far as the Brits are concerned, we're blessed with heavyweights. Absolutely blessed. I'll go back to the day when you couldn't, where no British heavyweight had won a world title for nearly 100 years.
Modern day boxing is really starting to boom now. How do you compare it to when you first started promoting and sort of in the last few decades? Would you say we're sort of seeing a golden era now?
I started promoting in the 70s. Okay, so I'm into my fifth decade. And at the end of the day, it's not changed, because all people want to see is good fights. That's what it's about. What has changed is how they watch them, how they consume them, from being on terrestrial TV. There was only one channel when I started out showing boxing, that was BBC television. ITV showed fights from overseas. We got them involved. All those fights in those early days were all recorded on a Tuesday night and shown on a Wednesday, 24-hour delay. There was no live boxing. I did the first live boxing shows on a regular basis. That's a fight to get them on. That's through legal action. Fights, we put them on Saturday nights. There were no shows on Saturday nights. They were always midweek. Venues were all tied up. And seen it go through from fights being on closed circuit, where you'd pay 20 quid, 25 quid to go in the West End, 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning to watch fights come in from America, to see it on pay-per-view in the UK. I've done the first pay-per-view show. And all the different channels that evolved from there, the satellite broadcasters. And here we are today, coming to the end of our deal with TNT and off to yet another broadcaster, which is going to be a massive, massive challenge for us, and one we're really looking forward to working with them, because you know, I look at the people who are involved at the top echelons, all the people that they brought in at DAZN. They're really good people, really good people. They've changed a lot of their personnel over the last couple of years, and we got good rapport with them. We've worked with some of them in the past on a regular basis, and I met with their finance, the guy who finances Owen Salem Blatnovic, who's a great guy, got great vision, and convinced us this is where we should be going. And this is where we are, where we're going. We're going there.
Thank you.